Hello again and welcome to another episode of the Franchise Everything podcast where we talk about everything and anything franchising. And today I'm joined by a special person, Corinne Whelan, who is the practice
group leader.
Practice group leader. I knew I'd get it wrong. At LegalVision. Thank you for joining us, Corinne.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
It's a pleasure. So we're going to talk about the legal challenges that franchise, or the challenges in legal that franchise brands are facing, and how what firms are doing to adapt to all of that. So first of all, tell us what LegalVision is. That's a good way to start.
Yeah, no problem. So we're, I guess, a non-traditional law firm. We're a bit different. We've kind of flipped the legal model on its head. So we are a full-service commercial law firm. Yep. However, we work on a subscription basis and a membership model. So we have kind of two different ways that we work. We work on a pro model, which is for your small to medium enterprises. They pay a weekly fee and it covers them for unlimited legal support. So across all of areas of commercial law. Yep. And then we also have an enterprise offering, which I now also kind of head up. The enterprise is supporting in-house lawyers run as their, external
overflow or something.
Overflow support. Yeah. So we call it a desk extension because we're basically an extension of their in-house legal team.
So that's really flipping the normal model. Because I remember seeing LegalVision come out and someone said subscription. I thought, what?
What?
How was that accepted initially?
Our clients love it.
Yeah.
Like we've got a crazy good ratings because it's something that they find is so unique in the market because they feel like they can come to us for everything and anything. I think in a traditional law model, you end up in a situation where the longer something takes, the more it feels like the billables have dragged out.
The bill keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
Exactly. Yeah. Whereas we are all about efficiency and trying to get things done as quickly as possible. We're commercial, we're pragmatic. We don't want to delay things because that doesn't work in a model where you're subscription-based, right? So we want to get through as much volume as possible. We want to make sure that we're still giving you perfect and good legal advice. Yeah. But we've streamlined that process a lot more.
That is interesting. I hadn't thought about that. You're incentivized to get it done.
Yes,
faster.
absolutely. We want to get it done.
Right, get it done faster.
Yeah. So we've definitely kind of switched it up in the legal industry, and clients are somewhat apprehensive when you first explain it because we do have contract terms as well. So, 1, 3 or 5 year membership, and people find that funny because they go, well, how do I know that I can trust you?
Do you price it differently, 1, 3 and 5?
Yes.
Yeah. I was going to say I would.
Yeah, we do. Yeah. Discounts for longer term because you're committing for longer. And obviously it's also priced different depending on the size and scale of the business. But it's people are apprehensive at first, but once they give us a go, they never look back really. Yeah.
Excellent. I love that interesting take on it.
Yeah.
So what sort of challenges are there for franchise brands in the space there at the moment?
So I work across about 70 different franchise networks, mostly with franchisors. And what we're seeing is obviously at the moment, the franchising code changes are super relevant, and it means that, again, on our subscription, the way that we work is with all of the iterations and changes that have come.
You're busy right now.
Yeah, exactly. So all of the changes that have come into effect over the last few years, we're able to just flex in, and that works into our clients' membership, right? So they say, well, Corinne, I need to change my franchise agreement again. Well, they're not getting charged hourly rates every time those changes come into effect. But that is something that has come up so much for us, is getting those legal documents, the franchise agreement, disclosure document, complying with the franchising code. But also unfair contract terms. Obviously, they came into effect a couple of years ago. And the main way that I'm seeing that play out is not only in the franchise agreements, but things that we often forget about, supply agreements and other contracts that are really, really relevant to those franchise networks.
That intertwine
into what you're doing. Like if you're a gym-based business, you have terms and conditions that you need your consumers to sign. You most likely have all of your franchisees using those same terms and conditions. So are you, by default, as a franchisor, giving those terms and conditions to franchisees and making them have unfair contract terms in their contracts with their consumers? So we're really big on making sure that we're looking at all of their legal contracts, not just franchise agreements, but across all commercial
So you're finding that's a bit of a trend at the moment, that you're having to go back over those things?
Yeah. We're often and regularly reviewing all of those types of documents for our clients, and particularly supply agreements if they're a middleman. So you might be a resupplier as a franchisor, and often we want to make sure that you're not having contracts that are riddled with unfair contract terms through them, and then subsequently causing your franchisees to also break those laws.
Are you finding there's element of frustration amongst franchisors that they're having to go back over this stuff all the time?
Absolutely. It really is. So I see a lot of franchisors. I mean, I talk to most of my franchisors once a week, or my team does, and it's a constant battle having that discussion with them and saying, look, here's another update, another change. Here's something that we recommend. Best practice drafting is this. And obviously it's frustrating, but again, they can book in, have that call. We talk them through it. We make the changes. We're very proactive where we actually took a bunch of our clients' documents and we just said, we've started making the changes for you. Here's your new version.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, because you can probably do that on a subscription model,
yes,
can't you?
You can.
If you were getting them to engage you, it'd be very different.
Yeah.
So, how does it work for you in your business then when you've got, like at the moment, such a massive change coming to the code with the reasonable return provisions and things like that?
Yes.
How does that work for you in surge work? Like, how do you manage that? I mean, you'd need a fair window for that, wouldn't you?
You do.
Yeah.
And obviously that's it. I've got the same number of team members. So
you did, yeah.
You've got to
It's like I was wondering I'll cut you off there. Like, when there's a storm and the power lines go down or something like that. It's like,
and all of
we're
a
all
sudden,
out of power. They don't just have all these electrical guys just sitting there waiting for a storm.
Yeah.
So that's why you have to wait.
Yes. So we phase it out and we roll it out over our clients over a period of time. So we usually kind of set our own internal deadlines for getting things done.
Yep.
But we also are big on automation at our firm. So we've automated a lot of our precedents, including our clients' franchise agreements and precedents. So we actually make one round of changes on our back end and then we re-upload it to our we call it Doc Auto. We upload it into our system so it can automate the franchise grants when we do it. And that means that we can spend more time on the actual implementing the legislative changes into the main template contract. But then when it comes to every franchise agreement, once that template's updated the way that we know how it should be, we can roll out a more efficient process for the BAU work that's a little less common.
So are you paperless? Are you...
entirely paperless.
I was going to say, like in franchise, I remember being a franchise exec back in the days, like stacks of it would be unbelievable in updates of paper and everything. So it's good you're paperless, obviously.
Yeah, so we have, we use an online document execution platform and it's so much easier. We actually are very different as well. We actually have our own inbuilt tech stack. So we actually talk to all of our clients through what we call Prism, which is its own board of their workflow, so they can see what lawyer is appointed to their matter, how it's progressing, when it's getting done, and to correspond with us there. So you don't even have your traditional emails anymore. We actually have it all built into our platform.
No email. It'll devalue our database. Don't do that. So what other challenges are you seeing out there? Like, are there any other, is it segment specific for brands? Are you seeing any ones that are sort of popping up that come to mind other than just these other regulatory ones?
I've found, I think software as a service and SaaS, like companies and brands that are using an inbuilt tech stack or a software that's bespoke or specific to them is also something that's very relevant at the moment, particularly when we're talking about use of AI as well as online privacy and data compliance. Because with a lot of these platforms, you've got a lot of different terms of use that they have, a lot of different access points for people with data, franchisees using data, other third parties may be collecting data, processing that. So we find that a lot. We're basically recommending across all of our clients, but particularly any that are in the SaaS space, that they are regularly reviewing their privacy policies. So we say annually update your privacy policy for sure. And just even if they're not the size and scale of a company that needs to comply with the Privacy Act and the Australian privacy principles, we still recommend that they do, just because it's better to be complying
just to cover off,
than to not.
Yeah. Okay. So if that's that main one. So when we're thinking of legal fraternity or profession broadly, how do you think law is adapting to that technology? We're thinking AI, we're thinking that. So I wanted to touch on that a little bit, how law firm, because I know you can't speak for every law firm.
No.
But you're part of the whole legal fraternity, so I know you've seen, you'd have friends and stuff like that.
Yes.
How is it coping with things like AI and automation and things like that? What are you seeing?
Yeah, I think every firm is different in their approach at the moment. We're very proactive on use of AI. So we've actually gone in and we've inbuilt to that system that we have, that platform that we use, our own kind of way of accessing AI to help us with document reviews or summaries, call summaries. Now, that is what we want to do. We actually have somebody who's job it is basically to help figure out what integration with AI continues to look like in this kind of new age.
So a futurist who can probably look about 3 weeks in advance, and that's about all.
And look at what's right and what we need to do and how we can streamline and make our processes more efficient. So we really embrace the use of AI in our work. I know that some firms are quite scared of it. Obviously, there are the parts that come up for us with we will give something to a client and they want to run it through AI themselves, and then it comes back and they want to tell us how to do our jobs, and we go, well, no, that's not how it works.
ChatGPT said.
Exactly. But I'm finding a varied approach. So some lawyers are utilizing it every day. For us, we try and use it for the most mundane of tasks. So we'll run transcripts of our calls and our advice consultations. We use that and automatically generate a call transcript from that and then a call file note from that. That is honestly the amount of time that saves for our legal team halves the amount of time that you would normally spend giving that advice and doing all of those types of things. So
it's funny, I think, see, now you've got me thinking that subscription model, AI is like the perfect enabler for that, isn't
Absolutely.
it?
Yeah,
so
it is.
You just saved a whole heap of hours from all that. Where alternately, if you're being billed by hours, then that's a different story, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. And that's what makes us, I think, more accessible as well, is because there are a lot of companies and businesses out there that, they don't understand what that looks like, and we're trying to say, well, actually, if we can save time on these things, it means that when you're spending the time on the actual legal advice, you're getting good quality legal advice. We're just not spending a lot of time and charging you for the file note drafting or the boring
Have
things.
you found any other competitors trying to match a subscription offer?
I think there's other firms out there that are doing either cheap fixed fee retainers or a different type of style of offering where they might have you on like a certain monthly package that includes a certain number of projects. But nothing that I've seen in a
sort
kind
of like a false subscription type of thing. Not quite. Not close.
I think not quite where we're
almost,
at. Almost there. I mean, when we first launched LegalVision, that it was actually a fixed fee a retainer that was all like, fixed fee contract drafting or whatever. But since then we've moved and pivoted into the subscription. And it seems to be the only type in the market at the moment. And definitely people get the value out of it. So
excellent.
Very different.
Well, thank you for coming by. I wanted to meet you, and it was great to hear more about LegalVision. And thanks for joining us on the podcast.
No, thank you for having me. It's great.
Pleasure.
Thanks.
I hope you enjoyed that one on Franchise Everything podcast. If you like this, please share, subscribe, do all that sort of stuff, and we'll catch you in the next one soon.